What up? It's Wes. I'm back. I was talking to Peter Gozinnia. He's like, "Hey man, like you need to like not give a f about this and that." And I was like, "Yo, I got bullied pretty hard when I was a kid. Like, I just want to get up on here and like kind of talk about it. Like, I actually meant to talk about it earlier. I mentioned this a while back. Like, I was gonna make a video about it. So here it goes. It got pretty bad like in middle school. Let me just go back. Fuck, dude. Here we go. This is gonna be a rough one. Yeah, I was like this. Let's go back to 1998, dude. Like Bill Clinton, PS1. Fucking, I'm like 11 years old. Like I'm like kind of like shaking here. So like, I got teased and shit for being white at an all Hispanic school in Cathedral City, California. It's called Nellie Kaufman. It's like really ghetto. Sorry, my nose itches. I just got off work and yeah, they were like white boy, white boy, white boy, white boy all the time. And I was like crying like a little bitch to like my science teacher, and I was like crying and shit. And they keep calling me white boy and all this shit. Like, so like I had a little animosity towards Hispanics when I was younger because they just kept calling me white boy. It was pretty funny. And then it started getting a little physical, dude. Like I remember this one kid, like I was on the school bus and he took my head, he smashed it up against like a window, and I started crying like a bitch. Well, it hurt. And like, yeah, it got a little physical. Like I remember I got in like one fight, like these kids like kept taking my fucking pizza, my Domino's. They kept taking my fucking pizza. I'm gonna cuss because it's like I can't even hold back right now. These kids kept fucking taking my pizza all the time. And they're like, what, bitch, what? And like one time I like pushed this kid and he pushed me back and we started fucking slapping each other. It was like pretty funny. So it started getting kind of bad in middle school, like for being a white kid in an all Hispanic school. And then I got my head getting smashed into the school bus window. It was getting bad, dude. And like something happened in 2001 that was like fucking bad. Like some punk kids wrote a hit list with some names on it, like 4 people. Yeah, I'm like shaking talking about this. 4 people. I will kill the principal and myself by Wesley Thomas. These punk ass kids wrote that on a paper like a hit list, and I got framed. I got set up with this, and the principal was, and I'm like 14 years old sitting in the fucking principal's office like, did you write this? Did you write this? I'm like, no, I didn't. And then like I almost got expelled from school for a hit list I didn't write. Some like fucking punk ass kids thought it would be funny. I had an idea who it was. Like I'm just like some random kid getting like bullied hard in like Carmel, Indiana. And it's like kind of funny to me, not funny. Well, it was like some kid from that school committed suicide years later. And I'm just like, that shit could have been me. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Mr. Caring Guy on YouTube. I'm like shaking. I'm not even done yet. Mr. Caring Guy has a video about all these teens that committed suicide because they were bullied. And it's like a whole collage of kids. And I'm like, that shit could have been me. That shit could have been me. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm alive, dude. Straight up, I'm fucking alive, dude. I didn't commit suicide. I was that kid that did not bring a gun to school. Straight up. And if any kid sees this, it'll get better. My voice is shaking. It'll get better as an adult. All those fucking popular kids, the popularity is going to fade. We're all going to become adults and have responsibilities. I'm like shaking right now, dude. But fucking, so middle school was pretty bad. Mostly just, then when I got into high school, like fucking, I was just like a hyper weird kid. Like I was all into video games. And like the name calling got pretty bad. It was like crackhead, retard, shit like that. And like, I'm so glad I didn't have access to a gun. I'll tell you that straight up. I'm so glad I didn't have access to a gun, because the thoughts were coming into my mind, and people were saying shit about, like, oh yeah, Wes is gonna bring a gun and start killing us and shit. Like, they were saying that shit. And it got pretty bad my sophomore year, like 2000. So now it's like fast forward to like 2002, 2003. I had like some fucking kids like yelling shit like all the time to me. Like, it was like, actually like 2003, like Wangsta by 50 Cent was popular. It's like, so this kid was like, Wangsta, Wangsta. So every time I hear Wangsta by 50 Cent, it's like, it reminds me of this fucking kid. Like, I don't even want to say his name, but like, and then like this fucking one guy was just like harassing me, calling me the marcher and shit. Like, oh, this kid's a fucking marcher, because I like imitated the school cop, and he was just like following me around, yelling at me, calling me a marcher and shit. But yeah, it was really bad my sophomore year, like 2002, 2003. Like, I had to like dodge certain hallways, or these like punk ass fucking kids would like yell shit at me and stuff. And like, when I got into like my junior, senior year, a lot of those older kids like fucking graduated, and like I never saw them again. So it's like, it took me a very, very, very long time to like fucking have any self-confidence at all whatsoever. It looks somebody in the eye and to have, you know, confidence in myself. Like, even when it's funny when I see these punk ass kids, when I see young, well, yeah, well, some of them, when I see these like little punk ass kids acting cool, acting hard and shit, I'm like, you don't fucking intimidate me anymore, dude. Like, I can be your fucking dad now. I'm almost 35 years old now. Sorry, I'm just like fucking like, Peter Gozinia hit me up. I'm gonna send this to him, like, yo, Wes, like, you should really like not give a fuck what people say. Like, yeah, you're not the only one who said that. Like, I had an acting teacher like fucking yelling at me, like, what's wrong with you, Wesley? Like, you know, like, fuck those fucking kids and shit. Like, whew, it actually feels pretty good talking about this. But yeah, like, looking back from like 1998 to 2004 is a fucking nightmare, dude. It's just like getting bullied and shit. And like, yeah, I'm like, man, like, I feel like I could have so been one of those kids that brought a gun to school and started shooting. I so could have been another teen suicide or school shooter, but I wasn't, dude. I'm here alive telling you that I chose not to do it, because, yeah, the thoughts were coming in my head. But like, this is some dark ass shit. But Peter, I thought I hit you up on this, and fucking yeah, it's just kind of hard to talk about. I was like shaking a little bit just now, but I just, yeah, dude, like, it was fucking hard. So yeah, it's just, it was mostly verbal, but it got physical a little bit. I like that one kid that was yelling Wangsta at me. I think he shoved me up against a locker one time, and fucking, I remember that fucking guy who was calling me the marcher and shit, because I was like imitating the skull cop. The kid's a fucking marcher. Yeah, it's funny. I creeped his Facebook. He's like a manager at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Anyways, like, I remember one time he like fucking just like came. He tried to attack me with his truck or something, and he's just like, "Hey, you like dick in your ass," like saying stupid fucking shit. Anyways, like, I thought I'd share this, like, my little bullying experience. But yeah, I'm like pretty happy to be alive at 34. Like, I can say this, like, yeah, I was that kid who could have brought a gun to school. I was that kid who was thinking about committing suicide, but I didn't. And I'm here alive talking to you now. So this one goes out to Peter. I'm gonna send you this your way, and I'm gonna try to have more confidence in myself. And it's been a long time. It's all that shit was about 20 years now. But anyways, I'm gonna send this to you, Peter, and maybe Roy too. And that's about it. All right.